14th, 2022. It is 4 p.m. And our first order of business is to salute our flag. Robert, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you very much. And now we'll go to roll call.
Commissioner Gustafson,
Here.
Commissioner Carl, Commissioner Rohan, Commissioner Wagon,
Here.
Chair Alpine, alternate Commissioner Holmes, alternate Commissioner Loman,
Here.
alternate Commissioner Stevens,
Here.
and alternate Commissioner Starsky.
Thank you very much. And now we'll move to changes and approval of the agenda. First off, I think we need some action to designate me to chair this meeting. So,
I'd like to make a motion to designate Cindy as the chair for today.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Any other changes to the agenda, Michelle?
No, Commissioner.
Thank you. So we'll move on to our public comment period. This is an opportunity for the public to speak to the commission on any subject matter within the commission's jurisdiction, but not appearing on today's agenda. Do we have like to address the commission? See, we have a couple online. Okay. If you're online and would like to speak to us, can you raise your hand? Okay, we're not seeing any. Then we'll move to our consent agenda, item number 5 on our agenda. Any questions or comments from the board? From the commission? Sorry,
No.
none? And I'd accept a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Thank you. Then we'll move on to our public hearing on proposed work plan and budget for fiscal year 22-23. Michelle.
Hello, Commissioners. Thank you. You'll see above me is the proposed budget. It's an overall. It is significantly larger than last fiscal year. The proposed operating budget is $691,000, which is an increase of $143,000 from prior year. It's broken down into employee salaries and benefits, and you'll see an increase of $24,000 and an increase to services and supplies of $118,000. This is mostly because we're increasing our the funds for the municipal service reviews and special studies, also a financial audit, as well as just the standard increases that you'll realize. And then for the revenue, we are going to be invoicing the cities, the county, and the special districts significantly more this fiscal year than last fiscal year. You may recall from the staff report that we only invoiced about 80% of our operating budget last fiscal year. So for the invoices to the cities, it does go up significantly for the city of Roseville and the other cities as well, but most notably the city of Roseville will see an increase of approximately $74,000 for next fiscal year. That invoice will go out in July to the cities, the county, and the special districts. I broke down the special districts. I have the top 6 special districts there that will see the largest increase. PCWA, will see a 34,000 increase. The bottom 30 districts, there are 36 special districts. The bottom will see 33,000. And then the overall difference is 102,000. Same thing for the counties. They'll see a significant increase of 101,000 for next fiscal year. I wanted to talk a little bit about the work plan as well. A lot of the work plan that you'll notice is a continuation of what we've been doing for the last 6 months. There's really several ongoing projects that are incomplete or in process. There's a few new items though on the work plan. The first is you'll see the Western fire agencies. And this is to look at the different agencies that provide fire and EMS services on the western side of the county. There was a study from 2017. There's been some changes since that study. And then, there's a lot of talks from some of the special districts about possibly submitting an application for a reorganization. So what I'm hoping to do with a special study as opposed to a municipal service review is to look at the impacts to all the agencies that provide services. So that could also be, for example, the city of Auburn, who sits in the middle of a couple of the 2 districts that are wanting to reorganize. Because they're not contiguous, and so the city splits the 2 districts. And then there's also the mapping, which Amy and I actually have started getting maps for the special districts and the cities. They're just not on our website. They're still in draft form. But that's something that we'd like to update, because we've noticed that a lot of the maps aren't reflecting the annexations that were already approved by the commission. So we just want to make sure that those projects are reflected, and then we have current boundaries for everyone. That's with 36 districts and 6 cities. It's actually taking us a lot longer than we anticipated. There's just a lot of missing information. And then this year we'll have a financial update, or I'm sorry, a financial audit. And we're hoping to get that started in the fall. We do have a lot of, or not a lot, but we have the mayors will be coming on board, possibly another new special district member. So once they're seated, I'm hoping we can form a policy committee for next year and really looking at our policies in a more thorough manner. There's other maybe not high priority items on our work plan that we'd also like to continue to work on. The only new thing on actually the commissioner onboarding packet, and this is the chair Alpine's suggestion, because we have all these new members, and so I think it's good to have one packet that where everyone receives the same information. So I'll be working on that soon, especially with the cities coming on board. Amy's been doing a great job cleaning up the administrative files, and so we're doing a lot with that. And then I'd also like to see us working with our neighboring LAFCOs a little bit more, and also with Cal LAFCO. So Susan and I, or sorry, Commissioner Rohan and I attended the SACOG meeting with all the other LAFCOs and in the region. And then we are hosting the central region. So, Sacramento LAFCO, Yolo LAFCO, Nevada LAFCO, Sutter, but Placer and El Dorado LAFCO. We're hosting them in Roseville next month, and then planning the staff workshop for next year. So I was in Calaveras County. I don't know why it's in Calaveras, but that's where our workshop will be next year. So I'd like to continue doing that. And also I'm hoping that the commission would be interested in being on the Cal LAFCO board, maybe once we have a conference again. So that's it for the work plan. I'm happy to add, or, we can discuss. There are a lot of items, I will admit, that I'd like to add to this work plan. It's just realistically with a two-person office, it's, there's only so many hours. But we're happy to rearrange, make certain items maybe higher priority or add to
Great.
the list.
Thank you, Michelle. Commissioners, do you have any questions or comments?
Just compliment you on laying it out in the ranking, but you piqued my interest. I'm curious to know what else, if you had a magic wand, what else would you want to have on the work plan, and or what should we be thinking about going down the road a couple of years?
Well, Amy and I were just talking about how difficult it is for us to find records. And so just digitizing all of the records. So LAFCOs have been around since 1963. We have a storage room just packed full of project files. And it would be great if we could get those scanned, make it, searchable. So you could just find, like Barton Road, when was that annexed, right? And get that started. I don't know. It's like a wish list. But there's other items too. And there's a lot of municipal service reviews. In fact, here's the, what I'll be asking for, and I'll go back to it, but let me just show you. We have a list of municipal service reviews and sphere of influence. And Amy's been going through our records looking for when they were last completed. And you'll notice the spheres, they haven't, Colfax doesn't even have a sphere. Those were due in the early 80s. The first time. Late 70s, and they got extended to the early 80s. And then we're supposed to update every 5 years. And then you'll notice the municipal service reviews. The last one was for the city of Roseville and Lincoln. And then the others don't have a municipal service review. And then if you look at the municipal service reviews for the special districts, one of the phone calls I received a couple of days ago was from the Loomis, is it Newcastle? Yeah, Newcastle, Loomis, Gold Hill Cemetery District. And you'll notice they didn't have a municipal service review, but what the general manager told me is they were told they weren't allowed to change their boundaries. So their boundary is reflecting the original school district boundary, because that's how cemeteries were formed. And it's like, no, you can come to us for an application and you can annex these areas so that what he has is there's people with the city of Rockland. They have a Rockland address, but they cannot be entered into the Rockland Cemetery. They have to go to the Roseville Cemetery. So there's all these boundary areas, but a lot of the reason why I'm bringing that up is municipal service reviews. When you do those studies, it'll catch those, and look for efficiencies. And as I mentioned, you'll notice there's not one here. And that's something that could have been caught when you do those studies. Maybe it's not like, oh, we're going to be saving all this money, or we're going to be consolidating all these districts, but certainly we can help, make everyone's lives a little bit easier. I know he receives a lot of those phone calls. Why can't my family member be entered into this district? We live in Rockland. It's like, well, you're just not in their boundary.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd like to, if I had a magic wand.
Well, is that something we should consider outsourcing? You would outsource it anyway.
No,
correct?
absolutely. It's just a matter of, even when you do hire consultants, there's still a matter of
A lot
putting
of
up,
checking. Yeah.
yeah, and the RFP and all the process, which is why I wanted to focus on the fire, because I know there's a lot of talks with some of the fire districts about reorganizing. But really, we should be looking at, long-term, looking at these other
Mhm.
studies.
Other questions?
I don't
Or
have
comments?
questions because the three of us served on the budget
Budget
committee and
committee.
reviewed the work program.
Great. And then I'll look to our alternates. Rick, did you have any questions or comments?
I do not. Thank you, Cindy.
And
That's my view out my lanai, Cindy.
I was gonna say, don't rub it in that you're in Hawaii right now, Rick. And then if there's no other comments or questions, I'd go to public comment on this item. This is a public hearing on our proposed work plan and budget. So are there any public comments here in the room, or if you're online, if you'll raise your hand using that icon so you can speak to the commission. And I'm not seeing any hands go up. Are you, Amy? Okay, so with that, we can close the public hearing, and you'd like a motion?
Yes, the staff recommendation is to adopt with modifications, and then we'll distribute the proposed work plan and the budget to all the funding agencies. And, we'll let you know if we receive any comments at either the May meeting or the June meeting. But it will come back for final approval at the June 8th meeting.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the staff's recommendation.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Oh, we have to do a roll call.
A roll call.
Okay,
Pretty clear with the four who voted.
okay. I just want to make sure.
It's
everyone-
unanimous.
Aye. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll move on to item 7, which is our business items and our executive officers report.
Oh, well, since I already went into my executive officer's report really as part of the budget, just to let you know what the status is on the different projects. Just one quick item that I didn't mention is the North Tahoe and the Meeks Bay. I am waiting on the financial analysis. I believe they're halfway done, the consultants. And so hopefully once we have that analysis, then the application from the 2 districts will be complete and can go forward. There's still a few steps, but at least we'll be able to move forward with the application. And I think Amy has an update for you as well.
So this is an update for the special district election this year. On March 22nd, we mailed and emailed the nomination information letter, the nomination forms, and the government code to all the special districts, board clerks, and chairpersons. Those forms, the nomination forms, are due back in our office on May 2nd by 5 p.m. And they can be received by us via email or mail. So far, we've received 1 nomination form from the Truckee Tahoe Airport District, and they nominated Rick Stevens.
Thank you. And then once you receive the nomination forms on May 2nd, we send ballots to all the districts for the nominees.
Yes.
And then how long do they have to respond on that?
I believe, we gave them 2 months, just because not everybody meets every single month.
Okay,
So they do get a little bit of time. I know some of our special districts express concerns because of that issue.
okay.
So
So by
May, June, July.
July? Okay, great. Thank you. And I see Chief Layton is watching. I don't know if he has any questions on that, but he's one of the participants up on screen on the fire. I just thought on your report on the fire districts,
Oh.
but you're probably just listening in. Anything else, Michelle?
No, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. So item 8 is our commissioner comments. Are there comments to share with the group?
No.
Not seeing any, so I guess I would accept a motion for adjournment. What a quick meeting.
So moved.
Okay, second, okay. Motion and second, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.